Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap Pro Trader webinar series today with Jay Trader, a stocks trader. So for those of you who are new in here, this free event open to all, is our typical of our Pro Trader webinar series. Every day of the week, we have a new or different professional trader presenting and going through how they read the order flow, their setups, their strategies, insights to order entries and exits, etc., market or trading psychology, all of this kind of stuff. So that's what the events are for. However, today we have Jay Trader, who he holds a daily webinar, or not a daily webinar, a weekly webinar with us, where he goes through live trading as part of our Bookmap education. And tomorrow we have Scott Pulcini. He also does the same. He's a futures trader. It's you're going to get insight. It's going to be a little different today. It's a professional trader, of course, for the Pro Trader webinar. However, it's a little different. It's just going to be kind of a normal day for Bookmap Global Plus subscribers. This is what we do every week, every Wednesday and every Thursday. So you're going to get insight to what that is like. Here, they will be taking live positions if opportunities arise. So let me go through a little bit about Jay Trader if you haven't heard of him. Most of the Bookmap Global Plus subscribers know very well who he is. He's been trading since he was 18 years old, European equities and covered warrants like options, trading huge volume back in the day, and still does trade huge volume, but focuses on order flow scalping and mainly trades the US markets, and options is also part of it. He is the main trader in his small cap trading room. He does offer educational services. I will be posting this into the chat for you. So if you want to reach out to Jay Trader, well, I'll just post it in right now. If you want to reach out to Jay Trader and you like his style of trading, he offers mentoring and education. I just placed it into the chat in GoToWebinar here, so you don't have to copy down the links or anything. You can just click directly on them. Okay, so let's go through some risk disclosures. And Jay Trader comes in a little late on Wednesday, so he'll be in about 10 minutes or so. But that's fine. We have some other things to go through. We usually go through our daily advanced webinar analysis, forward-looking analysis on what's happening in the markets. So we'll do that. I'll go through this risk disclosure, and then when Joseph pops in here, we'll get right going directly with him. Risk or general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation demo paper trading mode and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so that said, let's jump right in here. We're going to look at the NASDAQ E-mini. Was just looking at this earlier here. Very, very simple setup here, guys. This is typically what we look at. Now, I didn't take this. I should have. I was just kind of scrambling here to get ready for the webinar. I would have gotten out here. I'll tell you that. I would not have been holding for this bigger move, even though, I like it. I mean, I still see buying up in here typically. I like to exit where these drops took place, or at least take a partial profit. I'm sure in this one I would have taken a full profit, and I would have missed this here. But what a move, though. Nice move. It's going for the open here as well, so look for this to continue, just to spike above the 9 o'clock swing here, basically. And let's see where else this might be going here on the longer or term or higher term outlook here. Yeah, down at 15,000. You can see we didn't even get close to it, right? And they're bidding up in front of it here. This is a great chart. I mean, look at them bid up here, 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 in front of 15,000. So looking for more buyers here still, and looking for them to break this swing and then on up into, yeah, you know, probably this 120. Let's see where else. You see 125, or I'm sorry, 130, and then also 150 starting to show some liquidity here. So yeah, looking for buyers just to continue sweeping this higher, and powerful move starting to unfold here. Now we have a big day ahead of us here. So we have the FOMC later today. So you know things are going to be you know pretty wild, pretty back and forth I think today. So be careful out there. Order flow wise though, this is what the chart is telling us. Okay, very simply. All right, powerful move here. All right, so we also have stops and icebergs in here. You can see after 9:30 open here, up to 500 here, and they continue to buy through this whole sideways consolidation here, up to about 800. Well, let's see, what does it say here? Yeah, 758, 772, something like that, all the way through here, right? So iceberg buying all in through here. Okay, especially at the open. Let's just highlight it, okay, and mark it up here. You can see right here. Now we have the on-chart indicator as well, which I like a lot. But I just want to kind of mark up that area. So we know this is where, in this consolidation period here, front running this 15,000, we have a lot of larger players absorbing, okay, using icebergs, hidden orders from the market. Look at the stop run here as well. Always kind of makes me a little sad to see this. It's just everyone getting stopped out while everyone, all the smaller retail traders getting stopped out here, and they're getting stopped out on the way up here as well that went short. Just kind of sad to see still getting stopped out on the way up here, and icebergs they just plowed right into it. Okay, just plowed right into the larger players using iceberg orders. In fact, I want to take a look here at the iceberg, just all of the different trades here. So we'll just bring this down to 1 or even 0 here, right? And look at all of the iceberg buying and selling in here, because there's going to be quite a bit down here. Boy, we're going to have to filter for some of that though. That's just too much. Okay, let's just get rid of like 25. Let's see what that looks like. That looks better. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, just tons of icebergs on these on the pullbacks too. Pretty nice stuff, pretty beautiful stuff in there. And stop runs to the upside right here, stop run, everyone getting short here. And 130 stops, kind of, like I said, kind of sad to see. Also getting stopped out on the way down here in this area here. Anyone that was buying in here, one more little push, and then does not, this is where it's kind of a mind fake out here, looking for 15,000 to trade. But you know, it never came down to it. This is why they're front running and they're absorbing. This is precisely why it didn't make it down here. Okay? So getting insight to this and understanding this dynamic here, this is a classic trick. Larger players, they'll show high liquidity at the figure here, or anywhere, it doesn't really matter. And then they will front run that high liquidity with hidden orders. Again, get filled before it even comes down into here. Plus, we also noted, you can see in here, they're layering in these areas here, all throughout here, and then in here too, lots of absorption in here. Okay, so this is also pretty nice to see in the heat map here. Some of it pulled in here, but definitely getting filled in here, and below here. All right, so pretty nice stuff in there. And let's see if they continue to get back in here. Not really. That was about it. And then they're just bidding up at higher or previous areas here, and we see this nice move to the upside. All right, so let's go back and review this. Where are we right now? We were looking for this to continue. and it has a little bit of consolidation here, but yeah, still looking for, yeah, we see some selling starting to come in here, but it was just a pullback, and we might get another little pullback in here to 100. Now we're above 100, so note that as well, 15,100. So anyway, let's just mark up another consolidation area here, and it could be as big as this, okay? Or it broke out from this little area here. It could be also in this area here. And there's one more. It could also just be in this little area here, right? So we're bullish though. So we're looking for sellers to just kind of spike it below here. And then we're looking for buyers, the order book to really light up on the bid for them to start to pull liquidity on the offer, okay? Things like this. And this is what we're looking for in this bullish area here, all right? If we're gonna look for continuation. Good morning, Oliver, and there's Joseph. All right, so excellent. Let me just turn it right over to Joseph. Anyway, guys, keep a lookout on this and look for those conditions for those buyers to start to come back in here. All right, so let's find Joseph in here and make him presenter.
Glad to be here. How are you, buddy?
I'm well. How are you doing, Joseph?
Everything's fine, thank you. I'm stalking a few trades this morning. I tagged you before in the room because we have been trading Uber. And before looking right now at the live price action, I just wanted to explain again the reason why we longed Uber this morning. Anybody of the traders in here traded Uber, Bruce?
I did not.
Okay, so Bruce, we have, okay, you can see bookmap in the chart, good, buddy?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay.
It might be a little too high resolution.
Okay.
It's hard to read any text in there, but the chart looks beautiful though.
Okay, I'm trying to fix it. Let me know if this may be better. Sorry. A second. Okay, so I think this is a better display resolution for traders over here. Okay, so let's fix 1 second.
Boy, that's
so
a pretty high. That's pretty high too, but I think that'll work. I think that'll work.
Yeah, this is the one I use generally, so
okay.
should be fine.
Okay.
All right, traders. So this morning we have a second day continuation on Uber. The reason why I looked long is because we have pre-market support, which is you can see over here, resistance of yesterday. You see this 45 yesterday resistance right now turns to be also the pre-market support, and this is practically my A+ setup. I just love when we have this. The trade on Uber over here will repost so we can see why and what was the main reason we looked too long this, all right? I'm gonna post it over here 1 second. Okay, so we have the first thing I look for this bottom. Okay, generally I like to enter just when we close above the J lines, which is this green line, and the second bar starting, so 45.20. The reason why I anticipated the long, and Bruce can also over here confirm, is that we had morning fill from 45. So we went just below that support, which was previously resistance 45. And then over here soaked and held a pretty good support at 44.75. So when I saw that, I started seeing this pop, I longed immediately, and I was just risking 44.70. So I was risking 7 cents. 10 cents maximum. Over here, we had a fill around 82. And then we started to reclaim the 45, reclaim the VWAP as well, reason for me to hold the position. So this turned to be, now I didn't calculate R's yet, but could be like a 40R return, 45R return on this trade. And this was a moneymaker. So first resistance over here, reason to cut at the 45.30. And you can see that this was the level that I saw and I wanted to, take something else in case we had a rejection. And then higher, 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 and then the last part over here when we failed. Look, this $46 level, traders. So often you are scared to short into the 45, and that's correct. You cannot short something that is going up only because we have a big resistance. In this case, you see how they buy this resistance, and we don't have a rejection, so it doesn't start to unwind. It's strong and it still pushes. Then we have some consolidation on that 46. You can see clearly how they consolidate. They fake the breakdown over here at 46, which is this level over here, right? And then they reclaim it, and now they push it big again, up to 46.60, 46.62. And then from there, we have a reversal. But this is the correct way to trade Uber. So for who was this morning watching it, that is simply an A+ setup. While I'm drinking some tea, we have a few other movers this morning. So we had Tesla, we had Snap, I'm watching Twitter. We have Embraer, AMD, ONTX, which are small cap plays. I'm watching right now, not anymore for a short on AMD. Or AMD will go parabolic. So this means we want this price to go 630, 640, 650, or simply I will look to long it for scalps using the 90 MA. So I already did my day, pretty nice one. So I'm only looking to trade over here right now with you, showing how to trade Bookmap. Remember, this is with Bookmap simulated, the execution I take over here, as Bruce told you. And we're only looking for setups on AMD. If I will see my A+ setup, so not scalping, I will take it on a live account as well and show you the trade if I will trade that A+ setup. So A+ setup again would be the long at the J lines or parabolic move.
Joseph, I love that setup that you just covered, with Uber.
Okay.
And maybe you can articulate a little bit more, because it's a spike into high liquidity. You've got your J lines, pre-market data. It's like a kind of a probe and test down into that area. It stops a lot of people out. It gets a lot of people also going the wrong way, and then
Yes.
they just come piling in on the
Yes.
buy side here.
I think your analysis is correct over here, perfect on point. They shake out the buyers over here. They really shake them out, and I would say, when we filled the 45, they let the price action on purpose dip, and then over here they probably are holding. You see the big soak and the big heat map as well. They're holding, and then on this reclaim, longs understand that they are trapped, and then longs will re-enter higher. So longs stop out, shorts joined, short stops, longs re-long. The short stop will squeeze more the stock, and this will have this push, plus the manipulation from the big hands.
All right, excellent, thank you.
Let's look over here a few more things on Bookmap, because this is something that I really wanted to see in the last 2-3 weeks, but the market, unfortunately, and Bruce knows it, didn't really, was not really that exciting on the big cap land, mainly because we didn't have big trends. If you look at Tesla traders, if you look at Apple, if you look at Nvidia, we don't have any kind of big trend. We are mainly being in lateral phase. But Uber, or Twitter. They have been giving the last 2 days some very good trends. And over here, for me, Uber this morning was simply fantastic. I would like to see this every single day. Very low stress, didn't give fakes to the upside, simply straight. And what I like also is to have all these higher lows. These were all consecutive except this higher lows for at least, if we take out this, for at least 15 bars. If I wouldn't have bookmap, okay, so over here, Bruce, let's also say this. This is not because I want that you take bookmap. I mean, you already have it. But if I didn't have bookmap, by setup, I would have entered 40 cents later into the 45.25, 45.30. And then I have to risk a little bit more because as we know, this blue line, so which is the pre-market high, can be a rejection level. Therefore, I have to risk, for example, 45. So while I risk over here 7 cents on my long into 82, over here I was risking 30. So there's a big difference. And then when I go calculate my risk reward, so we have a very huge difference over here. This is the main edge of taking the trade with bookmap. Just want to see some other traders, Bruce, that you see they took the same setup, so pretty good on Uber. I'm very proud of the results on this. I'm not the type of trader that likes to push trading more during the day. If I'm already standing with, I would say, good green day, I will need to wait for an A plus setup and only trading smaller size. For example, Twitter is another one we have on watch. And I have this on watch since we break the pre-market high. So in an uptrend, this can be a good bull flag to trade long today. So Twitter will be on watch. I like to take off this for now. I like to take off this as well. We don't need the cumulative or the flow. Okay, so Twitter, let's wait. We have dips. We need to see some big support heat map. We are above previous day range. This can be a long. MD waiting. Maybe I'll watch if we have other extensions, please.
Okay.
I want to focus one moment on a runner. So I'm gonna put Wimi here. Okay. So if you look traders at Uber yesterday, and Wimi today, they're giving the same exact setup. Which setup I'm talking about? Dips into the 1 minute J lines. So I'm not looking to trade short Wimi. I'm staying with the main trend because this didn't go parabolic. This didn't go on a big extension. We need this to go and push to 5 directly. For now, I'm more looking for J lines dip. Okay. You can see, Bruce, something absolutely amazing, buddy. If you look, this support, right? 1, 2, 3 heat maps. Look over here, traders. And then you look where we have the J lines. I mean, this is really very simple, relative simple to trade. This is beautiful. Perfect confirmation. You can see the dip into that level. And these last 5 minutes, I will zoom in. Then Bruce, tell me if I'm right what I'm saying. The last 5 minutes over here, we have sellers. You see over here, it's all pink, okay, all magenta. Sellers, small balance sellers. When we soak into the first level of support, then we have a second one, then we have a third one. Okay, so we start forming more support at 420. we have the J lines that basically tell us, okay, this is a good support. And when we start reclaiming the VWAP, so exactly on this cup pattern, you know that I like to see the reclaim of the VWAP too long, then we start seeing a shift between all pink, so all sellers, magenta over here, to buyers. And look, the amount of blue prints, so these blue dots over here are buyers. You see 8K, 8K again, 30K. So we have pretty decent amount of buyers, right? It dips, you see we have no sellers, and then they continue to push. And we have always, if you look at these, look the huge amount of buyers versus the sellers. We have what, 3 or 4 small sellers, and then look the amount of buyers. They're buying the ask over here, and they're pushing. So this is how to basically uh, look for dips too long. Okay, is it clear, traders? If you have question, you can ask Bruce. Let me know if it's clear.
Yeah, Joseph, this is just I mean, a quintessential example. I mean, it's perfect. Like, it is showing exactly what, very, very clear. You have your higher time frame strategy. Now you're looking at the book map. You're looking at the where the liquidity is, the buyers and sellers, and then you're also gauging the not only the limit buy and sell orders in the auction, but also the aggressors, the buyers that are with market buy orders. You've got a really, really nice confluence here of those events.
Exactly. And it's what traders should do, trade in the direction of the main trend, unless surely something goes really extension, parabolic, and exhaust or stops big, and then trade over here. Because if we look at this picture over here, we can see only buyers. I mean, I don't see, besides some decent seller over here, which was right away absorbed, I don't see any kind of big sellers. Only buyers. We have like 80% of buyers on this uptrend. And even if this, for big cap traders, for example, seems a really small move, you have to consider that this is a 30-cent move on a $4 stock. Okay, so we're talking about what, a 7%? So this is a pretty good move. Make 7% on Tesla. So surely you have to size more, but this is a perfect move. Okay, this is really a paycheck, and you don't need much more than this. So entering the 430 over here, and then selling partial in the 450, and this goes more to the 460. So now we will be watching for ideally another dip into the J lines. Remember, generally the first two are the ones that have best win rate. The third and the fourth, I will look for sizing down. Twitter didn't dip as I wanted to the 90 MA. Uber below the J lines, holding that support, waiting. EMD. So EMD is uptrending all day from this curl in the morning. So we had this literally this cup pattern. Over here you can see a dip into the 460 and then breakout, then dip into this support 510. And you can see we had a confluence of more, I would say, parameters, which is one, the support traders of the previous high. So that's a support. Then we have the VWAP 510, you can see. We have a heat map over here. So soaking big, that 510. So don't really enter on that 510. Wait that you have that curl. Wait that you start seeing some blueprints, okay? And then you can see that over here we don't have any more sellers, and we start having that breakout 516, 517. And then over here we have this uptrend. So we have a pretty good rejection on EMD all morning with the heat maps, because we get 545, which is 5 cents from the pre-market high, and we reject. Then we get over here, I saw a second one before. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, we have a second one. You can see that we basically do as before on the support. We have bars, bars, bars. You see soaking, soaking. They cannot even push above 1 cent. And then the exhaust sellers come in, and we have, yes, a small rejection over here. It's like 6, 7, 8 cents. And then they reclaim and they pushed. But what I wanted to focus on and show you is that each time we have a push into a resistance, and let's say you are only a short seller, you're stubborn, you're just like waiting for that level to short, you could do this all day on the first rejection and always be profitable or exit in the money. Because over here, for example, you have 550, which is the pre-market high. You can short immediately 548, 547, risking that 550, 551. And then when it goes back in the money, sorry, from 1 hour, 2 hour, back 1 hour, always in the money, you trail it. And it's been doing this all morning. So it did this into the other heat map at 560. So very important to spot these. I don't suggest to short each time this goes up. That's not a strategy, but it was just to show you the levels that we have with Bookmap. Okay.
Just a quick note on that, Joseph. I think you're totally spot on. You can scalp those areas, but it's not recommended. You're just scalping the order flow back and forth. You don't really have a strategy there. Go with your higher time
Exactly.
frame strategy.
Exactly. I mean, if we are aggressive scalpers, then Bruce, can be still good, right? There are scalpers taking 5, 6, 7 cents in and out. Personally, I prefer, if I can, a bigger move, um, having always a low risk and trading those bigger moves. Weemy, that we are watching before, finally we had the breakout. Remember what we are watching, right? We are watching for these dips into the J lines. Now we have a curl over here. You can see this nice breakout, and now pushing strong 590. Weemy waiting for parabolic, over here. I'm gonna put up 1 second the stats on Weemy. I'm using over here add to trade that we have in the room. So we have 329 market cap, 49 million float, low institutional ownership, increased revenues. So we have earnings basically today. Let's see also, this is a China company. Let's see the gap stats, but not really important because that's, okay, so yeah, 50-50, I saw this before. I wanna look at the higher time frame. So always look at the higher time frame. So we have a stock trader that is in downtrend. We have a stock that traded a lot amount of volume. We have some big resistance into the 15 area. So we have bag holders at this level. At this level, we have more bag holders over here. So I really like today a power move on Weemy. All right. And again, you can see now how it's getting extended from the 1 minute J lines. Watch it together, traders. Weemy can be one of those stocks that will give us a parabolic move and that ideally we can trade. Okay. Do you have any questions, traders, on Weemy?
I do. So the I mean, today to me it kind of looks like it went parabolic just in the last few bars there on the right, or in Bookmap there as well. However, what you're looking at though is that daily chart and
Yeah.
where other people are trapped and where it might go potentially.
Yes, because if we look at over here, Bruce, on the daily or even on the hourly, right? We are right now at a $5 level, just breaking this J line. So imagine that over here we have a 49 million float. So it's not really that small, considering a small cap, all right? And imagine that me and you, Bruce, bought it 15 bucks. This is really what the market is. We bought it 15 bucks. So you think that even if you're holding this stock from what, 1 year, okay, 1 year and a couple of months, you think that you will get out if the price is at 5? Me personally, not. I would love to see this at least at 9, 10, 11. I cannot, lose 70% of my position, right? So I don't really think we're gonna have uh, a short until some very big parabolic move. So right now, parabolic move, I will need this goes 560, 570, or even 6, looking for that para exhaustion, looking for bookmap stuffing, so not being early, sorry, entering with a very first feeler, small feeler. When I say feeler, let's say I'm going to trade 5,000 shares, for example. My feeler can be 2, 3, 4, 500 shares, maximum 1/10 of my position, only to wet my feet. And then when I have that confirmation, I will enter the majority of my position. Even over here, we have that $5 resistance, but the volume is still very strong. 1 million volume bars over here, 800, 600K. I'm not looking to fight this price action over here. Is it true that if I enter 598, I have basically risk-free because I'm risking 2 cents and I'm ready in for 8 cents or 4-hour return, okay? But that's not my style. I'm waiting for a little bit better move.
Yeah, just a really nice mixture of understanding the heat map in terms of much higher time frame there.
Yes. This morning we had another, I would say, good example on how to use bookmap. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm trying to fix it over here. I'm gonna put this a little bit like maybe 1,900. Okay. So I want to zoom in. All right. So when we open MRIN, we had a push into this previous resistance. Ideally, wanted to see 1120. Bookmap over here was right away soaking at 1080. Then we had resistance 1089. We cannot even break that and making lower high. And above we had that big resistance 11 and more over here at 1115, 1116. So didn't take MRIN. So I'm not short on MRIN this morning, traders. I was looking to short this only on that extension at 1150, 15, 1120 stuff. But what I also saw, and I missed it because I was basically all absorbed in Uber, was the 933. So while we're waiting for the parabolic on WIMI, I'm gonna show you 933 level. Okay, so everybody can see over here the support, right? So we have the $10 number, which is this zone over here, right? We have a whole dollar number, whole round dollar number. We have a support. This is the golden zone, this yellow zone. And then we have this huge amount of support from Bookmap, okay? Around 50, 60,000 over here, around 55. We popped several times to the 1040. So look now what happens. When we pop, we know that I'm looking always to short J lines or VWAP. In this case, we have 3 things together. We have 1, the golden zone, which the 88 for me is the main level to short. We have the J lines, we have the VWAP. And you can see over here on Bookmap that we go directly into that 1050. We have more resistance over here, 1050, 1055, 1060, so 5 cents in 5 cents. They cannot break the VWAP. They start rejecting. And once we see over here the sellers, you see we have no more blueprints. So only sellers on the tape. They try to soak, to bounce, but sellers are still in control, and then they simply wash it. Once we wash it, we'll start making from that moment. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Always lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Okay, so this is Embrain this morning. All right, WEMI is still there.
Joseph, we have a question from Mark. What is your entry type? Instant order price, near heat map, lower time, higher time, or depending order type, or pending order type. So basically, yeah, how are you
I
entering?
generally enter limit on ask if I short, and limit on the ask, okay, so not on the bid if I long. If I'm buying instead on a support, that support is confirmed with heat map, and I know that we're gonna bounce, so I have very low risk. I tend to buy on the support partial, so on the bid, let's say 1/3, 1/4. When I see right away the confirmation, I then load, but on the ask. 90% of my trades, if I short, are adding liquidity, so on the ask. If I have an environment where, for example, we have a possibility of a fake out, so a fake breakout, let's say right now on 5 on WIMI, and I want to trade a short, those fake outs generally are going to be stuff patterns, and therefore I will enter on the bid, otherwise I will miss my execution.
Okay, so you will enter short on the bid if you can on a stuff.
Yes, but that's the only case where I short on the bid. Otherwise, I always add the liquidity. You have rebates, so this will lower your commissions. And I think that the best traders in the world, when they short on the ask. I mean, at least me and another great trader, Fate, he always trades on the ask as well.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go, Mark. And yeah, it's possible. Just so you know, I mean, you can enter your limit orders, your limit buy orders on the best ask for getting filled there. I don't know if it'll be considered maker, but nonetheless, you will get your fill at the ask price there.
So you can see, again, traders, we went to that 5. Remember, each whole round dollar number will be always a pretty good level where we will find liquidity. Big hands are watching that. And you can see over here, we soaked 58, and this doesn't move. Okay, we had first 80K, 84K resistance. And then over here, we soaked, 33K, okay? And then we went down to 55K. Now they're re-adding liquidity. So we went from 55 back over here to 67. So it means that they're still looking to reject this WIMI, okay? We may have even 2 or 3 big players over here. So somebody wants to get filled, right? Because he wants over here to sell his position, maybe it's long today or days ago, or previous days, all right, previous weeks. And also we have buyers that are wanting to, they want to buy this and hold. We have to focus 1 second, Bruce, on ONTX. So we just talked about the stuff. I just said, look for that pre-market resistance. And you can see over here, trader, this is a stuff. This is a perfect stuff, ONTX. Okay, so ONTX is our setup, pre-market fake out. So how you see the stuff? If you're looking over here on my book map traders, we have the 650, 655 being on ONTX, sorry, the relative high, right? And you see that we push, we have just a soak into that 650, 652, and then immediately wash. So over here in about 15 seconds, it flush 25 cents. So no blue dots, you can see, very small. And you have big selling pressure, especially in this 30 and 20. So now this is a stock that ideally will go back to the 1 minute J-lines. All right, back to the J-lines. I would say that on this level of fake out, some of these dots are also panic sellers. Because if you long is 660, 650, and immediately you see this washing below 650, 640, you're gonna get stopped out. You wanna get stopped out right away. So very, very good setup traders over here today on ONTX. And didn't come right away, right? We had to wait for this a whole morning. Simply the whole morning.
Yeah, very clear and nice setups today.
Yeah, the market is better. I would say that the last 2, 3 weeks, Bruce, we had a slow market, but the last 2 days, from this week, I see really the difference. Big hands came back to this market. All right, same thing on traders on WIMI. So this is a stuff on WIMI, but you see how different it is. For now, we are holding that level, is not rejecting fast as we had on ONTX. So if we enter short 497 right away, 497, 498, that has to be your stop. This is not a stop as I want. Soak now at 510. Look over here, trader. So WIMI is not done. WIMI is holding pretty big volume. Look, Bruce, over here, the push we're having on WIMI. Not with the W.
Oh, okay.
515 on WIMI. So each time we bounce, then we form some support over here. 12,000, 15,000, another 14,000 over here. So, and this is the breakout level on WIMI over here, traders. Look at that volume, 1,000,000.25. Okay, so careful trading something like this. $518, $521. Again, I expect now a higher support. They're trying to form it over here at the 513. This has possibility to go parabolic, Bruce. So let's look at WIMI.
Yeah, Joseph, I mean, I really like what you're doing there with the parabolic moves. You're looking for your higher time frame, the stock to be breaking out and into a new range on the daily, and then you're looking for where it might go in the parabolic moves, and then looking
Yes.
at bookmap to give
Before the
that
entry,
guidance.
exactly, Bruce, before the entry, sorry if I interrupt you. Before the entry, I always want to see a soak. So a moment that we soak, so I see exhaustion on the parabolic move. That is like my, okay, now it's time to go. And over here, still we don't have that soak. That soak would be big. For now, it's still uptrending. I cannot decide to enter short over here because we're still forming higher lows. You can see we're still uptrending. We're having still increase of volume. So volume over here is set at 600, 1 million, then over here 1.3 million. So I cannot short something like this. Absolutely, this would simply kill me. CRVS, a lot of traders are so early on this, why so early in this, all right? Yesterday we had a pretty good long setup in this area. This passed from $5 up to 960, 960 over here, 955. And this morning we had, I would say a pullback, all right? But we still have a decent support, 760. This is still not a backside over here, 750 we can put it. No backside traders on CRBS. We need the fill 750 and short the pops. We need this to fill below the 200 and the 5. So still very early. I'm just saying this because I know that a lot of traders will anticipate the short. This has been going up for about 4 or 5 days over here, maybe a little bit more. So we started from the 17th, okay? So this is not a backside, still uptrending. So ONTX right now expect some bounce. Why I say that? Because we have J lines 590 and you can see 590 before J line. Sorry, the J lines over here were a rejection, then a bounce, then a rejection, then a rejection, then a bounce. So the level of J lines is simply perfect. And what I said just now, look, the bounce. Also support over here, pretty big on heat map. This is an algo that is moving over here, so it's so funny. So you can see over here, traders, he's moving over here, the buyer at 11,500, then over here, 12,006. Okay, so it's beautiful how he's moving up. They don't want to give up on ONTX. They still want the high of day. Or they may use this, and you see now he just like moved higher, or he's doing this to sell his shares at higher prices. Okay, so we don't know if we have more than 2 big hands today playing on ONTX or the same one is manipulating. We don't really care to know that.
No, I mean, what's so crystal clear with your strategies, Joseph, is like higher time frame analysis, and you have all sorts of numbers to back it, and then really digging into the details to understand the order flow to give you a really good edge.
Yes.
Combine those two together, and like, I mean, you just really have something.
So what Bruce is saying, traders, is true. Bookmap can give you so much confirmation in your trades. So you can see that we have the buyer, then the buyer moves over here, and then they form more support over here, and then they move to 608. So I believe it's the same player, all right? Maybe he's holding the price because he has shares lower that he wants to dump maybe again at 640, 650. So maybe he dumped before partial at 650, and now he wants to sell more, probably into again 640, 650. Okay. So this is how the same buyer is moving over here, but I cannot really call him buyer. We'll see if he will get filled. Can be more like a seller. Okay, so a long trader that wants to sell over here.
Yeah, and just a note on that comment about some of your order flow examples, I will post into the chat here the Discord chat room that you have on Bookmap, and just to verify these setups, as well as on our Twitter feed. You have many different traders like Nuno, your cousin, as well as your wife, and many others as well.
Yes.
Excellent work. I've been retweeting it many times over. So
Thank you.
it's, they're reading the order flow correctly.
Yes. And I can tell you that traders are having a lot of improvement since they've been starting to use Bookmap. I see that from members who have it and members instead who are without it.
Yeah, and I think it's just that overall guidance from that higher time frame, your strategies, and it confirms it.
Yeah, yeah, it's working pretty good together. It's like a perfect match. So CRVS, now we are at that support 750. So I'm not really interested to trade this until I have the breakdown 750, and then we'll see pops. So I'm still staying sidelines over here. $6.10, nothing for now. WIMI still over here pulling back. And right now, traders, you can see that they sold over here the first support they had at 10, but then over here, this one canceled, right? So what we are saying that somebody is simply looking to hold the price, right? And now he canceled over here. So let's see if in case we break the 6, they will cancel again. But we cannot trade over here mid-range. It's still not touching J lines. It's still not curling as we would like to see for a curl breakout long. Same on WIMI. I'm still not having the perfect backside. Yes, we are below the 90 MA, but we're mid-range. Uber, after this morning, I didn't touch it anymore. Now we are definitely in a lateral phase. You can see the last 1 hour. So right now we're looking for a curl above 618. Possible push on ONTX coming over here. When I see a stuff, I'm always careful to long because we can always see a possible second stuff, right? So let's see if we have volume. So buying over here, sorry, shelling over here, then error, but it's flat and nothing. So basically scratch. So what I'm looking at for a possible starter into the 618, 620 long. When I see a removal of this 620, so starting 617 would be a feeler, but I don't see that high volume that I would expect. We have 6,000, 620. Still not breaking. We have a pullback. So we found another support 610, and then you can see how he canceled, right? So they're trying to hold over here. He canceled. So a lot of manipulation over here on ONTX. CRVS breakdown. That's the 620. So, and sellers just came in over here. So risking 4 or 5 cents, but that's a correct long into the 620. They cannot break 622, now risking 619. Sellers immediately here. So getting out for 1 or 2 cent stop over here immediately. So you can see the breakout is not happening over here as we want. We don't have that strong buyers. If we look at the order flow over here, we had 620 removal of resistance, and then they put 2 resistance above. Somebody is really manipulating over here. Prefer to wait again, or the pre-market high or the J lines. We tried 2 times, didn't go, nothing, scratch. What I want over here was a curl up 1 minute J lines 2.650. Broke that resistance, find and support 620. Still very low volume, okay. Some decent seller over here. They can find liquidity to push this. More buyers. Now you can see the tape over here, it's all blue. So may start to push to 635. And there we are, 635. So didn't re-enter in this one. And you can see how now we pass from 12K resistance more over here, 18K. So they're stacking over here the ask. So some sellers. Not really aggressive buyers over here. Don't see they're attacking the 635 resistance. Small buyers. Okay, now more aggressive sellers, more aggressive buyers, sorry. The 630 over here, 28K, 10K up here, 633. They're removing 635, so expect to see a pre-market high traders or NTX. So it's beautiful to look exactly this pattern over here. We got from the stuff, right, at this level to the 1 minute J lines. You see, we were 1 or 2 cents away. And then we started to curl and again back to that pre-market high, 660s. 660 over here. This time is not stuffing, so this time is strong over here. ONTX, start to watch this. Yeah. This time is pretty strong. Take a look at Bruce. on 3x, no short, strong here. I'm not looking to short when it's consolidating, and we can see on this support 650. So what we saw before, traders, was somebody holding these dips, right? Managing to hold it and push it, and we see that they were creating support, then they remove liquidity, and look over here, only buyers. From 640 directly to 670, we have almost no sellers, only buyers. Look, the buyers over here. Surely we had sellers at these levels, but you can see the dots over here, right? The blue line, you can see this alkaline 654 is the pre-market high. The volume is there. We have 1 million volume bars. We have still big buyers over here, far from the 90 MA. So maybe we can expect a pullback, but definitely not a short. Bruce, did you see this this volume over here?
How many is that?
1 million.
Oh my God. And that's one big dot.
Yes. Do you see here, guys? I saw before in the room, I think Keish or somebody else was telling me, and I didn't pay attention. So just near the VWAP, just the price of the J line over here, we have this big volume. So not bad fill over here. We're talking about $8 million. Not a bad position. And over here, boom, they started to unwind all the way down then. That's a fill, trader. That's a fill.
Yeah, and that's a squeeze.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, like, you know, the larger players, are they getting squeezed, or is it just larger player that's going to be in there for a long, long time?
Yeah. Yeah. We don't know. Probably this was can even be a big seller that was long from a couple of
Yeah,
days, like 4 or 5 days that CRVS is uptrending. So today is the first day that really is falling and breaking down a big support at 750. And, you know, it's just like after this big seller, I assume is a seller, we started to downtrend over here. And he
yeah.
was filled. That's the point.
That's what I can't believe.
He was filled.
Yeah,
So he matched some really big order over here.
that's you have the national best bid and offer, so that
Yes.
might be a dark pool.
Yeah,
Or just some huge iceberg, but likely a dark pool transaction that, I mean, you can't find that kind of liquidity.
exactly. That I mean,
Yeah,
818.
yeah, it's got to be a dark pool, I imagine.
The price is really a dark pool because the price is 8 18 and 48.
Yeah.
Generally, the mids over here are always dark pools. Yeah. Yeah. So NTX, let's go back to pre-market highs. Okay, pull back into the 90 MA. So let's look for a long over here. We need a reclaim of the 90 MA and trend break. Trend break to the upside. We going to the 1 minute J lines. CRVS over here rejecting.